Fuck you, Sully. Sully being a hater. Bless you.
Bless you.
Chris said bless you.
And look, they started lining it up. They thought I'm going upstairs. Look, they started to line it up. Want to go open or you want to close?
Oh, fuck.
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
It is me.
You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
6 hooks.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Fight him.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Goodbye, young man. Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling. Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live. This is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
You don't seem well, Benjamin. Do you need any help?
I always feel ill, sir. It's like I'm never right.
I will see you later. A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Place this over here.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical says the opposite.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
The lazy man was at the door with the pass for our medical
Me and Pop
facility.
spoke, and I guess I just getting my air conditioner in this room.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Who is under here?
I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
You there.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius.
Ah,
the
shit.
church they just mentioned.
Shit.
Fuck.
Damn, this shit got holes in it. I need to double bag it.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste this talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Guilty. It's not too late to have the head crawled out. Guys,
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Right then. Show me what you have. Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I'll do whatever I want, sometimes even more. Now sod off.
When's your next day? Like, do you have any vacations left?
There's no
Oh yeah,
pride in
but that's
being
towards like
lost.
October, November.
But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well too.
Yeah,
Why?
that's Friday.
So you're racketeering for
October.
someone else?
I got enlisted by the wet boot boys
Nah.
gang from the docks. I'm their muscle.
I got one person left.
Dirty work.
Hmm. I got 3.
We got 3. That shit's crazy. For 6 months, we gotta use 4.
You survive at any cost, even
Yeah,
at the expense
that's
of
what it
others.
is.
Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons.
So that's got his hard
I'm
drive
not
today.
sure Mr. Lewis would agree
Okay.
with your
So what's the next step?
necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, here, and
You
he
really
used a
think
4
he's the poor
terabyte,
victim here?
so he
Barrett
plugged it in,
is sneaky
he
as
formatted
anyone.
it,
Long ago, I even
started
called the bastard
transferring
my best
it.
friend.
So far, it's coming out good. He checked out his Minecraft. He got all his stuff there. So a
Okay.
lot of the
According
cloud
to you,
based things, like
physicians are
online
scarce
games,
in this part of
he's
town.
good with that.
Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you?
No problems
I
yet.
guess your fancy colleagues are too
I saw him in a
afraid
month
to
from now, let me
in the
know.
back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
After I fix up this room, the next room all I gotta do is put up some curtains. And Bash is getting the AC in his room.
Hmm.
He ain't ever gonna leave his room again. Only TV. I was with it though.
Okay.
You know, anything I do, I let him know first, get his input, and then
Yeah.
move from there.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane. Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peters.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Shit.
When?
Oh no, I'm playing Vampyr. I ain't want to get into a fight yet, but can't avoid it, looks like. button. Bitch.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
Alright, have a good night. Yeah.
You are much more lost than I thought.
You have a good night, Tata Nene. Love and miss you.
You too. Love you, miss you. Have a good night, Tata Taro Nene.
Yes, you are. Tata Nene.
Tata Nene.
What do you mean when you say that I'm more lost?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad. And dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Yo, yo.
Your daddy's back.
Goodbye.
That sounds like it broke something. Definitely broke something.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But
Well, Chris abandoned you?
my name is Jonathan.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nizzacott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nizzacott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
I served in France. Our top priority must be...
Oh, you gonna make me act up and fuck you.
This war must stop.
What are you talking about?
Streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold
Keep on acting up.
and it must be stopped.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to
Free
reveal the
trial,
truth.
my ass.
I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
I don't know if my thingy finished.
So many untold stories and tragedies.
What thingy?
I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable.
God.
But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist. Hoping to sell some
Do you wanna hop on Warzone?
Nah. Okay,
Have you
finish
any
it.
idea?
Because the dogs kept on plugging it while it was fucking maintenance and installing and all that shit.
Good dogs. Good dogs. I hope you give them a treat.
Nah, they got punched upside their head and then took it for a walk. Oh yeah, Overwatch update. Okay, 99% copying.
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
Just let you know I'm fucking around on Fortnite.
Fuck. I'll go on there with you.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Well, imagine as I'm pacing the peaks in the church corridor and I can't help. Oh, we can't help ourselves, we just keep pulling this